the quality part we don't care about, right? It's just getting the content out there and learning each iteration. Mr. Beast says this. He's like, get your content out and every single video you make it a little bit better each and every time. Get it out. That's really at the end of the day, the number one thing you could do. Okay, BJ, so what is Crush It about?
So, Crush It is a book by Gary Vaynerchuk, or Gary V, which I think everyone probably has heard of at this point. And it's all about how you can make money doing something you love just by posting content that's in something that you're interested in and just sharing your knowledge and providing value of that topic, building an audience or brand, and then monetizing that audience and brand so that you don't have to work a job or do anything else. You can just make content about the thing you love, and that's basically it's a book how anyone can become an influencer, right? And
Hmm.
so Gary Vee is really sort of straightforward about this, where he breaks it down very into very simple things you can do today to get started. Just make content, post every day, post several times a day, post enough when nobody can ignore you, right? And he really says don't worry about quality because you have no idea what's a high quality piece of social media content until you've posted hundreds of times. And so it's really just keep posting, keep learning, get better and better, and then uh, use that content to expand and grow. And he really likes the model we're using for our content creation, which is sort of you have a pillar main content like a podcast or something where you make a lot of content. It's a very long form thing. And then from that, you pull shorts, you pull clips, you pull clips and images and all these pieces. And then those pieces become additional content that you send out on social media channels. That way, you can sort of maximize your time producing content. People will listen to the full hour or hours of podcast, and then people will also watch the short little clips of the best moments, right? And they help each other and can help your brand grow. And so it's a really good book, and I would recommend it. If you listen to everything Gary Vee says, you've probably already heard everything he talks about in the book. But it's still a nice read, and it's pretty short too.
He pretty much gives away everything he says for free on his social media accounts. So if you're familiar with him to an extent, you pretty much already know a lot of the things that are going to be in this book. I do think probably the coolest part is going to be the fact that he's just like the the quality part we don't care about, right? It's just getting the content out there and learning each iteration. Mr. Beast says this. He's like, get your content out and every single video you make it a little bit better each and every time. Get it out. That's really at the end of the day, the number one thing you could do. Get it out. Your first video may not be the greatest. Heck, you could check our first podcast. It wasn't very good compared to where it's
Maybe
at
you
now.
shouldn't.
And we still have a lot of room to grow. It was just in the beginning, we wanted to get it out there just to see what we were working with, to see how much value we're able to add from that bare bones podcast style. I think we're getting better. I still think we have a lot of room to grow in. One part in the book that I really liked was he talked about how there was this person that was asking him what microphone he should use, and he was like, wait, you shouldn't even be asking that question, right? That's something you should be worrying about way later. you know, Pick up a $10 microphone or use the microphone that you already have in your computer or something like that, and then start pumping out the content, make the things better that you can now, and then focus on that later, I would say. So, we're going to talk about here a few things that BJ and I use specifically to make our podcast. And trust me, this list is probably going to change over time, but this is pretty much what we use currently. With the thumbnails, we use Canva. Canva's cool because it's free for the most part. A lot of the stuff that we use on there is all going to be the free stuff. You can upload your own pictures, which allows you to customize your own thumbnails. They have layouts for thumbnails and a bunch of other stuff. We actually our shorts as well. The outline for them is also going to be from Canva. So that's one thing we use, and I think you should as well if you're interested in pumping out that content.
Yeah, Canva is just a great general sort of graphics designer. It's really easy to use, and it has all the dimensions for all the things you would want to make already uploaded. It can also do like animations, although those start stretching into premium. If you're worried about
Yeah.
like transparent backgrounds, don't. There's a free site called LunaPic that allows you to get rid of backgrounds very easily. We don't use the premium version of Canva. This isn't sponsored by Canva. They wouldn't want us telling you this. But there's no reason
Yeah.
to pay money to use Canva unless you really, really want to, because one of the big things is you can get transparent backgrounds with premium Canva. You don't need that. Just go to LunaPic, upload the thing, get rid of the background, and you're good to go with transparent backgrounds. We use that to do the overlay for shorts and a podcast. We just have a transparent image that we overlay on everything, and it works out great. Um, and we use OBS for the video recording. We use CapCut for the editing of the videos, for throwing the clips together, and also getting the transcript. That's a major, major thing. CapCut is probably the only free transcripting software we've found, and we've looked, and everyone's
Yeah.
pay by the minute, pay by the word. And we're trying to do this whole thing for free, and I think we've done that besides buying microphones and books. Right.
Yeah, CapCut's probably my favorite application that we're using right now because we're able to throw in the entire video and then segment it out and make the shorts that we've been posting on it. We're able to make the outline that we have there on Canva. We just put the founder descent at the top and then that little blue bar at the bottom to show that we're on a bunch of other social accounts. And then um, we overlay that on top of the specific audio segment that we wanted to in CapCut, and it's pretty easy. Maybe we could make a tutorial on that later, if there is a demand for it. But yeah, CapCut, forgot exactly how we found that, but it's it's been very helpful with the shorts, the transcripts for the videos because transcripts are going to help with SEO, of course. And another website that I've been using because on Canva you upload pictures, and if you want to upload a picture and remove the background, there's this thing called Photo Room. It's sort of like Canva in a sense, but you could just drag and drop images and it'll just remove the background and you could outline them if you want. And just if you want like say in the title or the thumbnail of this video, we may have something like Gary V. And if we want to remove the background, just drag it into Photo Room and take the background out and then outline it if we so choose. So I've been using that as well.
Yeah, and speaking of SEO, vidIQ has a Chrome extension that is great for giving you a checklist of all the best practices you can do to optimize your YouTube videos performance. So if you're making content for YouTube, that extension has been very helpful. There is a premium version that helps with more stuff, but we're using the free version because, like we said, we're trying to bootstrap this whole thing. And so, but check that out. We really should have tried to get sponsored by one of these because we're recommending these, but none of these are sponsored, and but most of them are freemium packages. And before we discovered CapCut, I was using HitFilm Express or HitFilm to do the video editing, but that software is crashing on my computer, so and it's mostly paid, so don't quite recommend. Is there anything else we really use a ton? I mean, Google Suite of docs and sheets is nice for sharing and managing workflow. Um,
Yeah, pretty much what we do is we just have like an outline on Google Sheets of what we want to talk about in each episode. We could write quotes down in the Google Sheet, main ideas that we really liked while reading each book. And so if we want to talk about it, we'll just make a note in Google Sheets. That's pretty much all of the stuff that we use day to day, I'd say. We've gotten a fairly good schedule going because we know what we're supposed to do each day now. I think it's best, like in Atomic Habits, like we pretty much mention this book every single video, making a system to allow you to have the most success. And the system that we've created allows us to know what we're supposed to be doing each and every day, like getting shorts done on Tuesdays, getting the transcript uploaded on Mondays, stuff like that, which has really been a big help, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, it's very our process is pretty good, I think now. We have a nice pipeline running, and everything's running on time, and that's allowing us to post on multiple platforms now. Like I would definitely would recommend just post on one or two at the start, and then start expanding out. Like we just got to Spotify, and this is like episode 16, right? We'll
Yeah.
and Spotify is like the second largest podcasting network. Like we aren't in a rush to get on all the platforms immediately, but we're focusing on just making good content, making sure we are consistent about it, and then we're working on something that might help us with posting on multiple platforms simultaneously. We'll see how that goes, but it's I think really you make good content, and then like if you make bad content and post it on all the platforms, that sort of just lets everyone know how bad your content is when you send it out. Really, it's nice to have a test group and just focus on this one segment. And then when you hit all the other platforms, they're like, whoa, this is really good content. Where did this come from? It's actually been running for a while. You're just getting it now. But I do think it's very important that if you have a main piece of content, you also do your shorts or clips or TikToks or whatever you want to call them, because I think that's really where you can drag attention to your main thing, right? I think all the attention is really on shorts and these quick clips, and that's the fastest way to grow your content is to be making clips and get over any fear of being on camera or video, or you're listening to your own voice. Like nobody really cares. That's just in your head. But that's all the stuff we really use in terms of tools. The book is really short. It's a nice read, but it's just post content about something you love and keep doing that until it works. And it's not it's your first YouTube video isn't going to get views. You post your first YouTube video, so your 100th YouTube video can get views. It's not there's no instant success. Anyone promising that is just getting the more watch time out of you, right? This is going to take time and work and what all the stuff, but it's gonna be a lot of fun, especially if you pick something that's your passion and that you love. Uh,
Yeah. BJ and I started this podcast because we had conversations like this off camera, like all the time. So we're like, you know what? Might as well just have these conversations in front of the camera for other people to hear and see if we are able to provide value in that way. So we're trying to stay as authentic as possible because we were having these conversations before. And so we're just trying to do our best and replicate that for you guys. And hopefully you guys can take something away from what we're saying
yeah.
from these books.
One other inspiring thing I recently learned was that 90% of podcasts, I don't know where these statistics come from, but apparently 90% of podcasts don't make it past episode 3. So if you just make 3 podcast episodes, you're in the top 10% in terms of podcast length. If you make 21, that puts you in the top 1%. Just make a weekly podcast for half a year, less than half a year. And you're in the top 1% of podcasts. In terms of viewership, you need like 6,000 to be in the top 1%. Because there's just so many other worse podcasts that don't make it that far. Which, I mean, that that's so easy, right? To be in the top 1%, especially in terms of number of episodes. But you can do that. Just be consistent. Find something you love that doesn't feel like work. Do that. It'll be great. Um, but I think that's all we wanted to say. We wanted to keep this one short. So we
Yeah,
hope,
it's
yeah,
a list of things you guys can do pretty much today if you want to start something. It's a list of free tools that we use currently, and that list is definitely bound to change, but we did all the research beforehand, so you guys don't have to do it now. Find something you love. You already you definitely have a few things that you love. Start posting content about it. Start building your brand because at the end of the day, it shouldn't feel like work because you love it. And yeah, that's pretty much all we have to share with you guys today.
sweet. We will see you guys next week, Tuesday at noon. And thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Tell us what tools you use. I'm very interested to see if there's anything that we're missing out on that's been super helpful for you if you do already make content. But thank you,
Yes, of course.
and we'll see you next week.